Queen of the night. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-mm. Let's try to rock to it a little bit. So if you know anything about this music, baby, this is about the time when that winner is about to be announced. I'm sorry. And I feel that queen is about to be announced. Hey, feel it. Hey, make you feel good. Listen to the words. Yes. Let me pause that before they try to charge me for the music. Hello, everybody. How you doing? If you know, you know, for a little bit, I've been down, but if you know me, I'm never out. So uh, it is truly has been an interesting year already in 2021 for a lot of those who are around me, a lot of those that know me, for my friends and my family. But what has excited me and kept me motivated and kept me thinking about all the possibilities of what life can hold is the fact that I am in my 5th year as a director. Can you believe that? It is our 5th anniversary of the Miss Full Figure DMV pageant. And what better way to kick off our season? We're going back to the beginning, honey. It's time to go back and understand how this thing started for Miss Lorrine Coleman-Ross. But not only that, to show you how this sisterhood really works. Then what I mean by that, like right now, I competed in 2016. And right now, the 3 queens that was crowned in 26 queens are still some of my closest girlfriends and sisters, and they're here with me tonight. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of talking right now. Okay, well, I am going to do a whole bunch of talking. But I'm going to bring some girls in with me so they can talk with me. So introducing our queen, Shakri, our queen, Natalie, our queen, Crystal. Hey, girl.
Hey, ladies. Oh, my God.
Hi, my family. How y'all doing? Hi.
Oh my
Y'all
God.
probably
I
hear
can't
a baby
believe
in the
I'm looking
background.
at
Yeah,
all
I
of
haven't
I
seen you
can't
guys
believe
in
I'm
so
looking at
long.
y'all right now.
Yeah,
Same.
we're looking at everybody. Hi, baby.
Oh,
Look.
look at that
Oh, special guest.
back.
Look, we're gonna get to that
I'm gonna
photo
I'm
again
gonna take
right
my crown off because can't nobody see it anyway against the white wall.
Yeah, it tends to glisten that much. It tends to glisten that much. Yes.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. I love it. Well, we're going to get to that beautiful joy on your shoulder, Queen Natalie, in a little bit.
Oh,
But you know what happens when you're a mom and you're at home, and right now when these kids see you doing something other than paying them some attention, they are going to be in your business. So you
Exactly.
can't tell them not to get out your business. So pardon us now for our little princess, because she's going to probably be in our business all night. Okay? All
Yes,
right,
especially
everybody
once she
over
hears
it.
me talking.
Well, I definitely want to first start by saying to my beautiful sisters, Happy New Year.
Happy
oh,
New
Happy
happy
Year.
New
New
Year,
Happy New Year
sis.
to you
to
too.
you all. And I know we got a lot I got a lot I want to cover with everybody. And I first want to start by allowing you to introduce yourself and where you're originally from first. And that's it. Don't give them too much more. Then you're going to take away my whole conversation. So, first, we start with you actually, let's start with you, Queen Shakri. Am I saying your name right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, because I
Shakri.
be acting like I be messing all the way up. Because we call you Cree, then I gotta add the she. I'm a little, what
Yeah.
have you.
Cree
But
is fine. Cree is
Cree
fine.
is fat, Queen Cree, got it. So go ahead and start with you and let them know who you are. Ladies, I'm going to bring y'all out a little bit so she can come front and center, okay?
Okay.
All right, Shakri.
Okay. Well, hello guys. My name is Shakri. I am Miss Full Figure USA 2016. It's been so long. I can't believe it's been 5 years. And I am originally from Maplewood, New Jersey. So yes.
Nice, thank you. Queen Natalie.
Hello, my name is Natalie Dawn. I am
the Miss Full Figure Plus 2016, and I am originally from the DMV area, but I reside in North Carolina.
Yes, we take credit for her. We take credit for her. And
I am hi. I am Crystal Lene Pegram, and I am from Trenton, New Jersey. I am Ms. Exquisite Full Figure USA for 2016. And yes, I can't believe it's been 5 years. That's amazing.
ain't it?
Amazing. Oh
Ain't
my
it?
God.
I'm bringing all my sisters back in. Let me tell you something. To see all three of you, it's bringing back so many memories to see the three of you together right now. Believe it or not, it's giving me like, oh my God, all the anxiety and the emotion and the happiness and everything that we experienced at that time when we competed. So starting with you, Natalie, can you just tell the world what was your why? Why did you what got you
I'm
to
having
the
trouble
front
hearing
door?
you guys.
You can't hear us? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Your
I'm having trouble
earpieces?
hearing you guys.
Oh. Try to go out and come back in, maybe without your earpiece. Maybe that'll work. Okay. All right. Natalie, can you tell everybody what made you come to the front door and say, I'm going to do this? You know, give them the true nitty.
So,
The
so
true nitty.
originally I was modeling. And I was like, let me do something different. Let me try something else. And pageantry seemed like a route to go. So I went ahead and tried out.
Nice. Would you say
And look what happened.
Crystal, what brought you to the door?
Oh, wow. Well, originally I was actually on my way to New York for a acting audition, and I saw all like these queens on the train, and I was like, oh man, I said, look, some women that look just like me are doing pageantry, and I was like, and I was like, how did y'all get into it? It's like, oh, well, we compete every year, and I can't remember who the queen was that year, and she gave me her card, and I was like, I'm not gonna try out for that, I was like, I'll never make it or whatever, and I thought about it and I thought about it, and like just like Natalie, I started out modeling. I was acting and I started doing modeling, and then I just one day I took a year to kind of talk myself into doing it, and then I was like, I ain't gonna do it. And I started with New York, and once I did the New York pageant, I just got bit, and then I just was like, I just loved the experience, and I had to try out, and I'm glad I did because I won.
What year did you do New York again? Let's talk about that. What year did you do
I did New York in 2015. You were there, sis. Yeah, you were there.
I know, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell your story.
that was 2015, and that was my very first pageant. And I just was like, I don't know, Lord. I said, I'm gonna try this because it was always something I kind of wanted to do. It was like on my bucket list to do, but I was like, I kept talking myself out of it, and I said one day, I'm just going to do it. And then I just had such a good experience, and I built so many bonds. And then like, I didn't win that one. I came in second runner up. Were you there, Natalie? I don't know if you were there. Were
I
you
was
at the
supposed
New
to
be
that was
there? You were there. And we
You
got
were there.
detoured. I was there in spirit Oh, because I was there
I
in
thought
New
I saw
York.
you there. I'm like, yeah,
There in New
the one in
York,
New
and
York.
I was supposed to
I
be
thought
there,
I saw
but
you
we
there.
couldn't find parking. We was
Oh,
everywhere
oh,
else,
poor
so
baby.
missed it.
But yeah, well, I came in second runner up, and I won photogenic, and I won talent, and then after that I got bit. I just got bit, and I was like, I ain't gonna do it no more after that. And then Teresa talked me into it, into doing nationals, and I'm glad she did. So the end result was
it was definitely. It sounded like what I remember also because yes, Natalie was supposed to be. Because me and you was on the phone, Natalie, because you was like, I got to turn around. I'm in traffic. I'm in this. It was everything coming against you for that New York pageant, honey. But you did show up for that New Jersey pageant in 2016, like you was supposed to. Okay, that's what happened. That's what happened. Let's see.
Yeah.
Free able to come back in. Let's see if she's got sound. How you
Okay.
doing now? You hear us?
I have sound. Yes.
All
I can
right,
hear you guys.
sis.
What? Well, we just got
Okay.
finished talking
Woo.
about what brought her to the door. Tell us about what brought you to the door of audition.
Okay, what brought me through the door was I guess I was walking. Miss Teresa literally stopped me and was like, I need you in pageant. And I was like, what pageant? What are you talking about? So she stopped me. I was walking downtown and she's like, listen, I have auditions coming up. I want you to try it. And I'm like, she's like, have you ever modeled before or did any type of pageantry? And I'm like, no, I'm not really into that. And then she's like, well, I could change your minds. And I'm like, I'll come to auditions and see what it's about. And I came to auditions and I guess she chose me to be one of her contestants. And I'm happy she did because it was a great experience for sure.
Well, my story is I was on YouTube because I live in DC. So on ain't nobody walking up to me talking about come to Miss City USA. Everybody's in New Jersey. So I have shared my story plenty of times and through other outlets, but I was sitting on the couch looking at full figure plus size. You know how we get because I was doing modeling within inside of the DMV area, but like hair shows and stuff like that, runway, what they call the urban modeling scene up here. And I was on YouTube and I seen the 20, I think it was the 2014 pageant girls dancing, and I was like, well, what they doing? And then I got closer and realized this a whole pageant full of women who got bellies like me. Are you serious? But them things were snatched to the gods.
Yes,
But
to
I'm
the
like,
gods.
baby, snatched to the gods. So, I looked at the pageant and lo and behold, she was holding audition the very next weekend. And I emailed her and the email came back, how old are you? Where you live? What size are you? And oh yeah, this is in Newark, New Jersey. So I told my husband once she sent me the thing to say, yeah, you can participate to try out. I said, babe, guess what we doing this weekend? My husband looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you talking about? I said, we're going to New Jersey. And I said, we're only gonna probably be there for about 30 minutes. And he like, what? We go to New Jersey to go to Atlantic City. We don't go to New Jersey for 30 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a ride right there.
Yeah,
No, it is. It is for sure.
When I got to the door, and I remind you because I was driving, I'm not dressed in the proper clothing when we get there. I'm scattering, looking for a bathroom at the Robert Tree and realize it's on the second floor, and all kind of stuff, baby. But I made it to that audition, and when I got that call to say, hey, you have been selected, you want to participate, I was like, oh, this gonna be hype. Oh, but you have to come to New Jersey for all of the rehearsals and everything. I was like, man, this about to be some miles on this car. Try to get there to do this thing. But my why was I wanted to do something for myself. I'm a mom. I have 4 children, and as you know, I have a husband. And I just wanted to do something for myself. Now, lo and behold, did not know exactly what I was getting into. So let's talk about what we got ourselves into, right? So, Free, you got walked up to you in the middle of the street. It's like, well, who is this woman, and why are you asking me these type of questions, and what do you want?
I know. I was like, what's going on? And it's funny because I live in Jersey. I'm not too far from Newark, and I never heard of this pageant before. And just so happened that I had a friend that she competed in the year before, I think 2015. So once I really started to get to know, the whole organization and what was going on and how it was ran and what was done for the plus size female community, I was all in. Because at that time, I want to say even in 2016, when I competed, there weren't really a lot of things for plus size women. There weren't even cute clothes really back then. You know what I'm saying? But now you look and we in 2021, you can find the cute stuff for all the
they done caught up.
Women, but it was definitely yes. About time. So it was just definitely something that I wanted to do for myself and, to represent all the pretty plus size girls out there. So
Exactly. Well,
so
definitely the
that's it.
fashion has changed. We're going to talk about that from time that we competed and what's going on now. So Natalie, your first impression on your first day there, what was your mindset like? Like what I'm here and you here at the rehearsal. What was the mindset? Give us the real.
I was like, what did I get myself into? But I was happy for the experience and just doing everything. Most of y'all probably know, or maybe you don't know, but I was not the original queen. I was the first runner up. So, things ended up working out differently in the end, but like the whole I I don't even
Well,
know.
you represented well. You represented well.
Thank
However it
you.
came.
When I first started coming there, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna put a lot of miles on my car, just like you said, Lorraine, because I was coming from North Carolina and I
Mm.
was working two full-time
Ooh,
jobs at the
ooh.
time. So when you say like I was coming to New Jersey just to turn around and come back off of no sleep, like I was coming straight from work sometimes to come to our things and stuff.
Oh,
So it was tiring, but it was totally worth it. Like I wouldn't take the experience back for nothing. I definitely learned a lot of things and just created sisterhood. Like me and Lorraine been like this ever since. So
We've been running tight, sis. We've been running real
yeah,
tight. And I love
exactly.
that about I can tell you, and I was telling Crystal this when I was talking to her about us doing this. We cannot talk to each other for a while. And the same thing with Cree. And it's like, what's up, sis? What you got going on? What we talking about? What's the deal? And it's always good energy. And after Crystal tell us about what she felt like that first day, we'll get around
oh.
to what that inside really look like. All right, Crystal.
Well, the first day, okay, so I think because I had did the New York pageant 4 months prior, the first day I was like, okay, it's not, I got a little idea, but I was still so nervous because it was a whole new set of sisters, and a even bigger experience. So it
Mm-hmm.
just made me feel like I've always been, believe it or not, y'all never believe this, but I was a very shy person. I never really put myself out there like that. And I think y'all see you laughing. I think doing the pageant system made me really come out of my shell and made me really challenge something to come outside the box and do something that I myself normally would have never done. And I think that the reason why I wanted to do it so much, and I was talking to you about this too, sis, the other night, was just to build the bonds and having that lifelong like connection to a positive group of women doing the same thing that I'm doing. And I just
Right.
love that. And it's like we are moving, and it's
And
just a wonderful, awesome thing.
well, I'm gonna tell y'all when I got there. Remember, I am 5'4". Okay,
I'm 5'4",
size.
sis. I'm five
Look,
four.
let me just tell you, size 18, 20. And I walked in there and I saw Creed and I saw Natalie. I saw all these tall women. I was like, these heifers, they got me. I said, what kind of women? And then all of you are like super large Coca-Cola bottles with the imprint. I'm like, I got to put on 6 girdles to get to that shape. I
Oh,
don't know
oh,
how
oh,
this is
oh,
going to
oh,
work out here.
oh, I'm sorry.
That was my
Really?
yeah, listen.
Really?
When I walked into that door, I'm giving y'all the nitty. Because we all do. Oh, look at the puppy.
Girl, if he don't get his behind out of here, go now. Where you come from? How you just jumping on people?
It was definitely a situation. Entertaining. I love it. I love it. It was definitely a situation for me when I was looking at the door and I was like, oh God, you know what I mean? But
Get out. Get out of here.
what made it so much more receiving, you seen everybody smiling.
Mm-hmm.
everybody was smiling. I guess it was the let's see what this all about smile. We was all checking, but that smile, I was like, okay, I like these smiles. They're warm. You know, I like them. I'm gonna give one too. You know, and sit back but once I started talking to some of I think Cree, I think you was the first person I talked to. I think you might have been the first person I talked to because back then,
Soon as you walk through that door.
I think a lot of you might not know, but Cree has changed in her full figureness. And I just knew that I seen this woman with these luscious boobs and this big hair. And I was like, oh, she is gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Baby, she had this big hair and these luscious, and you always had the big hair. I was like, man, I don't even know how she carried all that hair around.
Super big
but that hair was beautiful, girl. I don't know how you did it.
Yes.
Rocking my little short hair back then. I was like, but this hair, it was so glamorous. It was big hair. But I know that
I actually think that's what caught Miss Teresa's eye because I was just that was me every day.
That's pageant. That was pageant hair, honey. That was pageant hair.
Boom.
She could not stop you. I would have stopped you myself.
That's all.
Let me tell you,
me. You want me?
Yeah. Yes, you. Yes, you. Yes, you. So let's really talk now. Now that we inside the room, we have been inside the pageant. We didn't got our first looks on. That night when you went home, did anybody have any doubtfulness?
I know I did. I know I did. I know I did. I think the doubt came in because, well, just being overwhelmed with seeing everybody, and then I don't know if I can only speak for myself, but I was like, we don't know who in what category and who doing what. We don't know who falls in what category. You know, I got approached so many times and people were like, well, what category are you in? I said, well, I know I'm over 40, so I know I got to be in the mature women category. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, we don't know. I think, when did we find out, y'all? I think it was what? Second or third?
No, it was literally like a week before the pageant.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like right before.
Yeah,
oh, well,
they did the measurements of everybody.
Teresa was like, you a Mrs. Squizzy, you over 40, you over there. I was like, okay. It's like, okay. But I didn't know y'all found out, right?
I didn't know if I was gonna do plus.
I didn't know y'all found out,
but she didn't know if she should put me in a plus category or Miss USA. So they was going back and forth because every week, I mean, leading up to the pageant, my inches were going up and down. So I was like, let me put the cheeseburger away for a second. I'll come back to it. So
she said I come back to it.
my measurements at the time just was like more towards the USA. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So
well, I guess that's what happened.
But it was just nerve-wracking.
It was, and then when we found out, I was secure that I was going to be in plus. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to be in plus.
Wow, I'm really shocked. I can't believe y'all found out. This is news to me,
honey. Yes, this is what
I had no idea.
This is what we call anxiety.
Natalie called me. And Natalie was like, do you know what category? Do you know what category? I was like, I think I'm an exquisite. She was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that y'all didn't know. I thought y'all knew.
No, you know, back then, Teresa.
Oh no!
I guess us old ladies knew.
They was like, the mindset. I guess the mindset was you're going to compete regardless. I guess that was the mindset. So where you're going to land at, it really don't really matter at that point. But I was shocked that I was in Miss Full Figure and not Miss Full Figure Plus. Because I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm looking at this and I said, I look like her. Why am I not over there with her? At the end of the day, I just regrouped myself and was like, you know what, I'm going to compete, period. So I might as well bring my 100%, regardless of what's going to happen, or who else I'm going to be competing against. For I won't be
Mm-hmm.
harboring all this feeling, and then whatever happens is because I put my 100% in, not because I was worried about all this other stuff. Now, on the other
Right.
hand, if I was 42 at the time and they put me with the young girls, I would have probably flipped a little more.
And I was
But
42 at the time. So I was like, don't you put me with them youngins.
and
I said, there's too many of these pretty things walking around here. Okay, I don't know.
look, it was we was a beautiful gathering of women. Period. It was a
Yeah.
beautiful gathering of women.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I'm not going to be one to sit
Absolutely.
up here and be like, oh my God, the whole thing was peaches and creams and purples and greens. That is not the case. You had,
Well,
at that time, we had so many different personalities, which you have now. And with the different personalities, some got along better with others. But the general line was that you was going to respect each other. Like, period, you want to respect each other. If you don't like this person, baby, you just choose to sit on the other side of the room. Go ahead down
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and let them be down there, act like grown women and actually have a conversation. Let's talk
Exactly.
about picking our outfit. So I'll go first on this. When I started looking for gowns, I knew daggone well I wasn't wearing a mermaid gown. I wasn't wearing girl, no. Because in case something popped, that belly needed to be covered.
You
So
know
I
what?
was gonna wear
What?
me a little princess dress. And again, for my day wear, it was supposed to be made. And then unfortunately the designer was unable to bring my idea to life. Girl, do y'all
Oh,
know that my dress was from Ross for my day wear because I had to find something real fast because I was having a whole fit.
Wow.
The swimwear was the only thing that came out right. Well, let's talk about that went well. And then, you know, and my photogenic picture was perfect. But did you have any struggles with your
Yes.
wardrobe? Natalie, go ahead, baby.
let me tell you, everything
I
that could have
did.
went wrong went
It was
wrong. First of all, I
yes.
will not name these designers, but I had two designers. One of them was responsible for my day wear, and the other one, she was sponsoring my day wear, and she didn't have time to get to my outfit. So I ended up having to buy something from Ashley Stewart. Then,
you did say that. I remember.
yes, then
Wow.
my day wear, I had an African print dress, like mermaid style dress, like nice ball gown, supposed to be made. The designer was in New York. The day of the pageant, I went to go pick it up. She took my measurements, but she did not. No, it was the day before the pageant. I went to go meet her to try on the dress, and it wouldn't even fit over my hips. The whole dress was too small. So, literally, the day of the pageant, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get a dress to wear. I already had to buy my day wear from Ashley Stewart, so it was basic, basic. And then, like, this dress, I still had to pay for the dress. So,
Oh.
she tried to make it up,
Oh,
like make up
ew.
for it by giving me another dress that I had wore previously, but it was not pageantry wear. So like I bought the dress, but I didn't wear it because I was like, I'm not wearing this. It's ugly. It's not like pageantry style
It's not what you
dressing.
had envisioned.
It's not what I wanted at all. So like
Hmm.
I had to beg a designer that was in the show to let me wear a dress. Like I paid him to let me wear a dress that he had for the models.
Mm.
And that is the only reason why I had a dress. And if it wasn't for him, like I don't know, like I would have wasted all my money.
Mm.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Shapri, what
crazy.
happened with
Ooh.
I
you?
thought mine
But
was
let me tell you this.
terrible.
Look, let me tell you one more thing. So when I went to the designer to meet her, my GPS and my phone blacked out. So I'm in the middle of New York. I'm from
Girl.
North Carolina, and we had a deadline to be at the hotel before we got kicked out. I had to figure out how to get back to the hotel with no phone, no nothing.
Mm. Chris,
God,
what happened with
God was with
yours?
you. God was with you.
Exactly. Like when I
Poor
tell you
baby. Lord.
everything went wrong, everything that could have
Oh
went
my
wrong did.
goodness.
I was like, yo, why you got me here?
That is crazy.
Right. So,
My
Free, what
story does
happened to
not
yours?
compare. I'm like, I must have been being a little drama queen about my situation because Natalie, whew, I probably would have quit. Seriously. I'm so serious. But whew, what happened with me was the original dress that I had, because I had a designer make my dress, and everything that I wore in the pageant was made just because I did not want to risk wearing the same outfit because Miss Teresa and her camp was saying that this happened a few years prior. Two contestants had on the
Mm-hmm.
same outfit. So I made
Yep.
sure to just avoid that and just have everything made. So I went through so many different textiles, so many different fabrics, and so many different. It was just fail after fail after fail, and the dress that I ended up wearing was not the dress that I wanted to wear. But the fact that I had options and the other options were not up to par at all, so that was just the best dress that I had. And I just
Mm.
wore it out of faith, and I was like, please just let this dress work.
That
So,
dress was stunning.
and
It
they
was
got
stunning.
me the crown.
It was
Thank you.
absolutely beautiful. I don't
But
know how
you
you
know
did
what?
it with
Honestly,
that train, girl. That train was
it was
serious.
heavy. Yes, the dress was so heavy. I felt like I was gonna tip over and fall on stage. I was like, please don't let me fall. Like the material was just so heavy. And then on top of that, you're cinched in. You have all of this,
The
you got
shape.
all this stuff on underneath your clothes. It was just
Oh yes.
a lot. So
Feeling like a
All,
just a
I was like,
squeezed up everything,
all
right?
oh
that
my
stuff
goodness.
on. Crystal, did you have
Yes, yes.
any stories?
Girl. Ooh, okay, where should I begin? Okay. So my dress, I had ordered my dress like 2 months. I got it custom, the measurements, all that stuff. My dress, I was sweating. My dress did not come until the day before the pageant. Okay.
Mm.
I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna have no dress. I said, this is ridiculous. I couldn't, I wasn't, my mind was so gone because I was like, I don't want to have to go buy something. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like my day wear outfit, I had that made like a month ahead of time, had the shoes and everything. I was feeling like a real superhero in that outfit. But that worked out fine. And then right before the day of the pageant, the girl that was supposed to do my makeup, girl, she backed out at the last minute. I'm sweating.
Mm.
I'm like, oh my God. I said, what am I going to do? I called Teresa. I said, listen, I don't got nobody to do my makeup. I said, I don't want to do my makeup. I want somebody else to do it. I started crying. She said, listen, just stop crying. Calm down. She's like, I got somebody for you. I said, are you sure? Are you sure?
Wait,
I said, because I don't want to have to go there and have to beat my face. I was sweating bullets in it, but she hooked
it
me
was
up. I
too
just was like,
much.
the dress coming at the very last minute. Thank God it came at the very last minute. And then me not having a makeup artist. And I was like, oh my God. I said, why, Jesus? I said, I'm just not going to win. I'm just going to go for the experience. I said, I don't even care if I don't win. I said, if I don't got no makeup, nobody do my makeup. I could beat my own face. That's fine. But I was like, I just knew. I was like, it just felt like, wouldn't have the full pageant experience. You know what I'm saying? But I just thank God that it all came together. Thank God at the very end.
Well, I know one thing for certain, one thing for sure. I like to let people know that it is never anybody that I have talked to that didn't have a story of a hiccup doing pageantry. Like I don't know about anybody else, but I haven't talked to anybody who be like, yes, my whole experience was no problems, no situations,
And if they say that, they are not telling the truth.
They are telling a whole fabrication, okay?
If they saying that, I really need to talk to whoever organized their situation, because I know for a fact for me, going through the Miss Full Figure USA pageant was definitely an experience of self work. You had to make sure that you believe who you were was who you.
Yes.
If you were relying on somebody else to lift you to a certain level, you was going to be out of luck at this point. Because
Right.
back then, it was really, you know, them stories that people talk about, cat and dog situations, and some people would say certain things
Right.
in your ear to throw you off your game. That's just the nature of what
Ooh, girl.
back then. But and that's the truth. My thing is, I keep saying, give me the real, give me the truth, because I need for people to understand that we have
Yeah.
evolved from those days inside this process. And when I was going through this back in 2016, when I was coming up that road sometimes, and even when I would have, you know, certain issues with certain situations, I would think in the back of my mind already, how am I going to handle this today? How am I going to address this person today? And then I would think about people like you, Natalie, and people like you, Bree, and people like, it's so glad that I loved all of you, and people like you, Crystal, and be like, oh, I'm about to see my sisters. We're about to have a good time. We're about to be around.
Mm-hmm.
We about to share some stories, and I can tell you, it was never a dull moment. I'll tell you that.
Never was. That's for
In
sure.
our pageant sister, but you know, I wanted people to see the fact that it's my fifth anniversary for DMV, but it will be 6 years since we all been together, and it shows the ability that I can pick up the phone and call my sisters and say, hey, look, I need y'all so we can kind of show them what it looks like right now. This is what
Right.
the sisterhood builds and what it's come up to and what it stands for is some equality. And when life happened, because when Natalie competed, she had no children, and now she got two pretty babies.
Beautiful.
Wondering about that princess right there. We have two pretty babies
Oh.
that's here right now. So I mean, it also shows that, you know, the women that go through this pageant, we are real live women. It ain't no, you ain't judged up only. We're real live women. But on that day, let's think about that day, like Crystal, what you just said, is you wanted to get the full pageant experience. So when your makeup artist didn't show up, for you, that was like taking a part of your experience away from you. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, but let's
Oh,
go
and then the
to
strap on my shoe broke, girl, for my day wear. I had my shoe. I was holding my shoe together with an earring. Okay, I swear to
Wow.
God. And I was like, please, God, just let me get down this runway and back up. I don't know how that little earring. That little earring did its job, honey. A little
My
post, just a
God.
little post like this one. I said, Lord, please. It was stabbing my ankle. I was like, God, please,
Stop.
let me
you
just get
know
through this.
what you did was the RuPaul make it
And the
work.
whole time you have to smile the whole
And
way. Yes.
smile. And that earring
You
was
have to smile the
tearing
whole
me
way.
down. Okay, that earring was tearing me down to the ground. And I said, please let me just get down this runway back up. Keep on smiling. And then as soon as I got to the back, I kicked that shoe off so fast. I was like, Lord, thank you. It was a trip, child. It was
I was like
serious.
emotionally drained after this
Seriously.
whole experience. I had to take a break. Like I
Did
like
you
quit
sleep? Did you like
everything.
sleep for like
I'm sure
child?
everybody. I'm sure because it's an emotional roller coaster. Come on now, let's
It
Yes.
be
was.
honest.
I
It's an
It
I
emotional
is.
like
roller coaster. It's
got
gonna
off of
it's gonna do that.
comedian. I just like it
Yes.
took everything out of me. The whole experience. I was like,
Everything.
I'm
Well,
done.
let me ask y'all this. Now, at the end of the night, I know how I felt. At the end of the night, did you regret? I mean, did you? I know how my feet felt at the end of the night. Okay, I was so scared to take my shoes off because I knew I felt like them things was
Oh,
amputated. How did y'all feet feel? Like Shakri, I seen your face. You was like, yeah.
My feet, my feet, it then we had to stand on stage for crowning in your
In
shoes,
the
and then we
shoes.
had to take 1,000 pictures. I'm trying not to show the pain and anguish on my face because I'm like,
Well,
did
I
I
can tell you this now
smile?
on
Or did
that
I look like
time
I was in
frame.
pain?
Yeah, I think we all remember that standing. That standing. But again,
Who?
what it does teach you, it taught me. You better make sure that shoe is right. You better make sure
Yes.
that you're ready for whatever thing you got on. You want to make sure you prepare yourself. You want to make sure you check your stuff before you get to the pageant if you can avoid anything that's going on. What
Yes.
I'm going to do right now, I'm going to really, because we're coming down to the end of our live. I'm going to take everybody out and then leave one person out, and we're going to just chat a couple minutes, and then I'm going to bring y'all back in one on one. Okay? Got
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Cree, hi, it's you. You're first.
Hello.
So I definitely wanted to talk to you about your family support. Do you feel like your family supported you
Oh,
through the process?
I have no doubt, and I honestly like without my family, I probably would have dropped out a long time ago. But and that's very important with the family support and friend support as well, because sometimes you may feel alone in the process. You get what I'm saying? And just to have that family support is definitely, definitely help. It definitely helped me. And it actually made me go harder because I'm like, my parents and my friends, I'm like, I can't let them down. You know, my sister, my siblings, like I have to bring this crown home because for one, I've never done anything like this before. So I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm definitely gonna go super duper hard, and I'm gonna have the same energy for myself that my friends and family had for me as well. So that's what that was for sure.
So because I remember me and you standing side by side in those shoes on the side of the stage, and
Mm.
how we were hand in hand with each other at the end of it all when things were like, okay, so they're
Like this.
calling names now. We was tight. They're calling names now.
Yes, like
What's going to happen? And then we looked at each other, and I remember I was like, "Sis, man, you definitely gonna be one or two. It's gonna be one and two. One of us gonna be one. We're gonna be.
yes.
We really had a lot of confidence in each other.
Hmm.
Can you tell me how did you feel I was as a delegate sister?
You were super amazing. I like Miss Congeniality is you're beyond that. You were definitely there for everybody, and just knowing that you were there as far as from the very first time I met you from the very end. It was just ironic that it ended that way. You get well, not ended per se, but just up to the pageant. It was just like you were one of the first people that I spoke to before we even rehearsed anything, and then you were one of the last people up till crowning, and it was just a beautiful thing. Like definitely, I definitely know that you are amazing. Just definitely. And it was just so genuine and just so motherly and just, that feeling is you don't get that from everybody. So,
Well,
and it's just like some people don't have that genuine. It's just like it was just a really nice experience with just being there and your presence and just knowing you, just amazing for sure.
Well, I love you for sharing. I asked that question is because we think that we're doing that, think that we're giving out good energy, but
Hmm.
we never know. You never really know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I always
Hmm.
talk about our
Hmm.
stories because first I was mad that I was put in your category because I just was like the big hair, the Coca-Cola bottles, all these things. I am in trouble. And then, but at the same time, all of those bottles and all those body size competed with me in Miss Swimwear too. So, it was definitely a
Yes.
sign of what's meant for me is meant for me. It was meant for
And you
you is
took
meant for you.
home the crown with that one. Seriously. That
Yes,
that
and I
walk,
and I
honey.
all the way out.
Look, when you
We had it.
walked
We
out, I
had
was
it.
like, oh, I lost. I lost. I just know I lost swimwear.
We had a
But it
good
was
time.
good.
And I can say the same thing for you, Creek. You have a very generous heart. You were always willing and kind to be like checking on somebody and saying, "Are you okay, babe?" And I appreciate that in you. And as a queen, you represented extremely well. And I was just like, that's okay. All right. Now after like 5 minutes of me going, you know, I got myself together and then I was like, oh, my girl won. And then I remember my family, they was, baby, I looked over at them two tables, they was like, you know, they were livid, but they was
Yeah.
still, they feed
Yeah.
off of my energy. And because I genuinely cared about who you were, it was amazing. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to bring in Natalie before we get chit chat a little bit about her and
Okay.
how she ended up where she at right now. You
Okay.
know, hey Nat,
Hey.
hey baby. So you know, I remember when we were at a fashion event for the pageant. Remember?
Uh-huh.
And you
Yes.
was put in this black dress. Hi, sweetie pie. You was put in this black dress with those black and white polka dots at the
Oh
bottom.
yeah. I
You
bought it. I
remember
bought
that
that dress.
dress?
Yeah. It was yellow. It was
But
yellow and black and white.
oh,
Yellow and
yellow.
yeah, yellow bottom with black polka dots.
It was absolutely adorable. And I remember when me and you was talking and you said one thing, you was like, baby, I'm taking this crown home. I'm gonna take this crown home. Let's talk about at that time and they end up calling you for first runner up. What was you really thinking?
I felt like the crown was stolen from me because honestly, the whole time I never doubted me winning. Not not being cocky or anything like that. I just made up in my mind that I was gonna win, and I know the power of manifestation. Sorry, my daughter. She thinks it's
It's
playtime right
okay.
now because I'm pushing her away from my lives. So she's like thinking this is playtime, but you know, um,
Let us say.
come here, Nyla.
Let her stay. So basically you were saying, I think we all felt that way, that we all was like, okay, so the crowd is mine. It's going to be but it was, you felt that it was a little bit more than just that at the time once you heard it. But once you heard it, did you walk away completely disappointed, or were you
I
more
wasn't
so?
disappointed. Like initially, I was disappointed, but I wasn't because like all the things that I went through, I was like, okay, all right. I have been through the ringer for this whole process, so walking away with something. I'm grateful, like for the experience. I'm grateful that okay, first runner up. That's still good. I still won, So it wasn't what I initially wanted, but it was still a win for me. And I was, thankful for that because like I said, everything that could have went wrong did. The only thing that didn't was my makeup. I mean, even you were there for me as far as the ticket sales. Like I didn't know that I had to have all this ticket money by a certain date. And then so that day it was like you got to come up with this money or you can't be in the pageant. And like your family helped by buying tickets. So going home with first runner up, that was good for me. I was happy.
I think when we would take and sit down and refocus on our whys, and we just take and acknowledge what we did achieve and be proud of ourselves, especially when you had all those obstacles and then you did put in 100%, and that's what came out of it. Now you are our current, well, not current, but however, you are the position of the Miss Full Figure
Right.
U.S.A. 2016 Plus Queen for reasons that we're not going to necessarily get into, but you had to take
on that role. And when that role came in place, you were ready. You was like, okay, I got this. You know what I mean?
But
I
you
can.
know, I cried so hard because I was like, is this a joke? Like at first I was like, is this a joke? And then I was thinking, wow, you know, what's for you is for you. And like I said, I never doubted me winning. So when I got that phone call from Teresa, I was like, wow. I was like boo-hooing because I was like, all this stuff I went through, even to like get first runner up and stuff, and then now here I am. I have the crown. It was like it was a reassuring moment for me.
I love it. I think it's also a lesson that people need to, that not people, let's talk about it. Women, let's make sure that we encourage all those around us because you never know when you need to step into a position. And because things don't necessarily don't go the way that you think they were going to go, doesn't mean that something might not come your way. Let's be very clear. I want to make sure everybody understands. Miss Lorrine won Miss Full Figure Swimwear 2016. Miss Lorrine did not place nowhere in the royal court for 2016.
But now
First runner up, second runner up, or queen. And but I left that day feeling so fulfilled after I had my moment because I'm human. You know, who likes to not place or lose something? But I left there with the why of Lorraine. Your why was you did this for you. Baby, you completed this. Baby, you achieved that. Baby, wait a minute. You won one of the categories that takes a lot of daggone confidence to get to that point. You know, think about all of your positive, and usually when you write them down, that's what they outweigh anything that could be negatively attached to the situation. That baby is having it. It usually outweigh anything that can come your way that could be of a negative situation. So kudos to you, Queen, for stepping in when it was your time for you to step in, and kudos for you for keep moving forward and pushing forward. You never was completely out of the light of everything that was going on, but taking time for yourself is also very important. But it didn't do anything but refresh Miss Natalie, Queen Natalie, to the point that you're able to still manifest certain things in other people's lives by your own experience. So I'm gonna bring in Crystal now, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Give the baby a little bit of time. Let me tell you something. That princess is like, mommy, what are you doing? Why are you still there? I don't understand. It's been about an hour. I've been over here trying to push up on you, and you're not doing it right. So we're gonna give her time right there. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Crystal, baby.
All right, now I just want to say one thing before you start. You
Okay.
were, and are still always a part of the royal court. You are the queen of swimwear 2016. So you placed, sis, and you are queen, and you are part of that royal court always.
Well,
Okay.
I appreciate you, baby. My whole point is that is just really to make sure that women who decide to come and be a part of our pageant system to understand that although that you're awesome, you did not may not receive what you were achieving to, you know, you want to
Right.
achieve. There's so much more that comes with this, you know. Actually, I'm actually going to put this comment up right now that came up from Miss DC Plus America. In due seasons, all things are working for your good. That's the lesson. So that's a really good point there. You know, really good point. It's definitely a situation where people have to be okay with their outcomes, probably because you're going to put your 100%. But let's talk about you now, Crystal. You know, I know this was your second round in the pageant system, but baby, you did take home the crown. Let's talk about you now.
Oh, child, like that experience. I said, I said I must have lost my mind because after the first patch, after New York, you know, um, and I wanted to win that crown, but the fact that I went there and this was the very first time that I did it, and I took a chunk home. I took it's what photogenic, and I took second runner up, and I took talent. So I wasn't expecting to win anything. I mean, I wanted to win. I wanted to win the big crown, but the fact that I didn't and that I still placed, it still was like just such a surreal moment, you know? And it just was, I was going to drop out because I lost my father like a month before the New York pageant. And then I had lost my brother a year prior. So the reason when I lost my brother, that he gave me the inspiration to, I think the strength to want to continue and do it. And then when my father passed, like right after, I was like, you know what? I don't even know if I could do it. I don't even know if I want to be, you know, my mindset was so gone, but I could hear my dad say, do it, you know? And I think that just kept me going. And the fact that I didn't win New York gave me even more drive to want to do the big pageant. And it wasn't just to have the crown and just to have something to say, oh my gosh, I won. You know, it was something where I would be able to use that as a platform for something positive, you know, to be an inspiration to somebody else, you know, and just a trailblazer in essence, somebody that can set the path for somebody that's coming behind me that's looking to do the same thing.
Well, the thing that we want to do is be a good example to those, and to not only those, but to ourselves. You know, sometimes people looking to be examples in other ways, which is always a good thing. But when we can turn that camera around and actually be focusing into ourselves, it'd been amazing how we pep talk ourselves in some things. It's like, what? You know,
and it's harder to pep talk ourselves because we as humans, it's just in us to naturally talk ourselves out of things.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. I agree.
To have the courage to look within self and say, you know what, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do this. If I don't win that, it's okay. But at least I know that I tried, you know?
Exactly. You definitely want to make sure you keep with the ideals of doing it for self. And then the good thing is, like Cree said, and what I absolutely had, and what you had, and I know Natalie's situation was a little bit different, is the have the bonus of family support is amazing. And everybody don't get to have that. Everybody don't get to have that. You know
I
what I
was
mean?
blessed to have my mom there, and you know, my husband at the time, and my cousins, and you know, it just was a little bittersweet win because my dad wasn't there, and that was my twin brother was the one that passed. So, and he used to come to everything that I did. So it was I was happy that I won, but I was crying a little bit because I was like, even though they weren't there in physical form, I knew that they were there in spirit, and I knew that they were looking down and they were proud, you know, and it made me feel good, even though it's just a little bit bittersweet, but it still made me feel good.
I love it. And I appreciate you taking your time and sharing that with us. You know, I think the show, and I'm gonna bring my sisters back in here now to show, you know, the different stories and layers of this process is important. It's very important because a lot of times over, when you just hear the fluff of the situation, it's hard for people to relate. It's hard for people to understand. But when you talk to someone and you be amazed at some of the things that you say and you do and you figure it out, you go, well, wait a minute. Well, that seems like something that can really happen. And she overcame it. You know, even talking, you know, with Creed thinking, oh my God, my dress was too heavy at one point. I had to put on 23 shapewears to make me look like you know,
no, seriously, I was
in it, and Natalie, baby, your whole day was full of all kinds of obstacles. And then for me, you know, on that day, I sat in the corner. I ain't gonna lie. And once I knew my day where it was, I got my little dress. Let me tell you something. I was thinking I was gonna be fizz with this other outfit, honey, and I ended up with a basic lace dress, and I was like losing it. But we say this to also tell people preparation is key. Like preparation, if you didn't like anything else from our stories, Preparation is the key. No last minute stuff. Try to do
And
everything you
have
can.
a
It's
But
already
backup.
even when you
Have a
prepared,
backup
even when you
everything. A
prepared,
backup dress,
you gotta be
a
prepared.
backup
Even when you
everything.
prepared.
Backup shoes, a wig, everything.
look. I'm
Seriously.
gonna tell you your best color shoe for
Yeah.
pageantry is nude. If you can get you a nude shoe, it'll go with everything that you got. If something go wrong, I'm
And
gonna tell you
Tell
that.
them things are scarce. Nude shoes is scarce, hunty. Okay,
Look,
you can't
it's
find them nowhere. Even modeling now, you
yes.
can't find them.
listen. I'm
Yes.
telling you. I'm just giving you giving them a
And
little bit of a
listen,
pointer, like you know, a nude shoe. What you about to say, Cree?
and, and here's a tip. Do not, on the day of the pageant, open up a new pair of shoes. They will hurt
Don't
your
do it.
feet. Break
If you
in
want
your
to die,
shoe.
yeah. If you want to
Break
die from the
in your
ankle down,
shoe.
mm-hmm,
Please.
mm-hmm. Tell it
Then do
again,
so.
sis. Tell it again,
Don't
sis.
do it to yourself. But
Break
I'll tell you
in
what
your
you. I'll
shoe.
tell you what to be brand new. You better get you some brand new shapewear and a good bra. I'll tell you that. That better be
Okay?
new.
Exactly.
You don't
Please.
want
Because they was
to.
checking
Look,
everything
Teresa
before
made
we
us
even
double
went
up.
out. They was checking all of our stuff before we
You had
even
to
went.
have
If it wasn't
proof.
looking right, we was not going
Yes.
out there.
You know the one thing that we talk about as well as an organization is a good foundation. We talk about a good foundation. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember because I'm heavy
Mm-hmm.
chested, baby. These things need to have proper boulder holders. Okay,
Yes.
the holders need to be proper.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hold on, hold on.
you don't want to be crying over something you can prevent. You don't want to cry over something you can prevent. But I'm going to also talk about some of the things that most people don't talk about in pageantry. When the lights are off, you have nobody to talk to, nobody is around you, and you have to face yourself. Through that process, I had multiple times when I done cried to myself and said, I don't know if I can actually do this. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how this is going to
Oh yeah.
come out. I have
I
no
think that was
idea.
all of us, seriously.
Ooh, I
And
had
you
so
know
many
what?
mini meltdowns. I had so many mini meltdowns. I'm
But I
telling
want
you.
to tell people that it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to
Mm-hmm.
go through those emotions because
Oh yeah.
that's
And it's
reality.
normal.
And it's
Yes.
normal. So please, if you're
Mm-hmm.
in any type of
Mm-hmm.
competition stage or any pageantry system, you want to give yourself patience.
Yes.
Please give yourself patience. And that's one thing I thought about when I went through this process. When I went through this process, you have those people who will support you, but they do this. They say that they're there for you, and then you look around, they have something crazy to say and things of that nature, which means you got to come back to self and be okay with self in doing this. Because if you're doing this for someone else, baby, the possibilities of you making it completely through with an experience is very thin,
Very.
very thin, very
Okay.
thin. I think we all had a teacher that said to us, I already got mine, you got to get yours.
Mm-hmm. And
You
don't try
know,
to be like me. You be you.
Mm-hmm.
you
Be
you you have
original.
you have everybody have that particular person that said, "Oh, what happened, Crystal?" Okay, hi, Crystal. Somebody went away, but at this point, I really wanted to just thank you, sisters, for being here for me right now in this moment to bring back some of those memories that we
Oh,
shared on our pageant experience. I wish nothing but the best for my sisters because I can truly call you sisters,
I
and
love
we're not,
y'all so much. I love
it's,
y'all
it's
so much.
if anything
Seriously.
else, that put a connection to you. We are connected, and if we talk
Always,
about,
always,
yeah,
honey.
we are connected.
Seriously,
But
forever.
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 You're right,
Forever.
sis. Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I was joking with Cree. I told her no matter how small she gets, she's still part of the full figure community. Period.
Yes, honey. And you look beautiful, girl.
She look
You
good.
look
Don't worry.
beautiful
Thank
then and
you.
you
We
Yes.
beautiful
will never
now,
kick you
okay?
out. We will never kick you out.
Thank you.
You might
We
have
will
to give
never
me the
kick you out.
secret, sis. I need to just come down just a little bit.
Look,
Okay,
See,
I had to
you
get
know
the
what?
secret from the
I,
People are,
sis.
people are
I miss
changing.
it. I miss it.
You
No,
know,
you look
I
I
thought,
beautiful,
need
girl.
some. Trust me. I'm like,
but you know, the
ooh.
key to that, the reason why you look so beautiful still is because you was beautiful in the inside already.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just like Natalie, I mean, the
Thank you.
girlfriend is gorgeous. Crystal, you're gorgeous.
Glowing.
Natalie,
Oh,
Natalie glowing because she didn't have
Natalie
another
got the
baby. She got
glow, honey.
two babies, and the last one is not one yet. So that glow still stuck on her. That ain't no glow
Yes.
powder.
Woo,
That's her face right
She
there.
looks,
girl.
yes,
Honey, that's that
girl.
natural beauty.
The
But I love
glow up
y'all
is
for
real,
joining
honey.
me tonight, and I appreciate the time that you gave me. I just want to let everybody know that this is actually streaming on our Mr. Figure USA, I mean, excuse me, DMV page and our Mr. Figure DMV YouTube page as well. So whether you hear with us via YouTube or via the Facebook page, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I got some more information to share with you. Before I do that, I'm going to give the floor to each one of my sisters to give a piece of advice to a woman who just might be thinking about becoming a pageant sister. Starting with you, Crystal. So I'm going to give you the floor.
Wow. Okay, so my advice is never think that you can't do it. It doesn't matter what your age is. I started when I was 42. I'm older than 42 now. I'm 48 years old. And never talk yourself out of it. It's never too late to go for what you really want to do, what you aspire to do. Never stop your dreams because you think you may not be the right size or your age is an issue. You can accomplish anything. It doesn't matter your age nor your size.
Thank you, sister. I love you. Enjoy the
I
rest of
love
your
you.
night, and I appreciate you.
I love you, sis.
Love you, honey. All right, Cree.
So, what I want to say to anybody, any female, any woman that is thinking about doing pageants, I would say just do it. Go for it. Don't worry about what anybody have to say because you're gonna get a lot of haters, and those are people who wish that they had that courage because that's what it takes to do what you are going to do. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about your weight. Don't worry about none of that. Just have your confidence and you get on that stage and you just do what you got to do and the outcome will be a crown, trust me. So that's all I have to say, and thank you guys so much for tuning in for sure.
Cree, I love you, sweetie, and I appreciate you taking your time and coming to join me. I love you. Okay, give me some kisses.
I love you.
Oh, honey. Bye now. Good night.
Bye.
Oh, hey, Natalie.
Hey. So my advice would be just to stay focused. Do what whatever your why is, just focus on that why. Don't be distracted because even if you do not win the crown, you have won something, whether it's the experience. There's like other things that always come from it. So just go into it with a pure heart, knowing what you want, and focus on that.
Natalie, girl, let me tell you something. Nobody else gonna know your princess tonight. They gonna know her now. Okay, they're gonna know our princess now. I appreciate you for giving your advice and being here, even when motherhood is taking over right now. You still stuck it out with
Yes.
us, and I appreciate you, sweetheart. I love you. I appreciate you. Give me some kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And now you got to go and take care of my baby. And
Oh, it's
you
it's
know me.
way past their bedtime, so they got a little, time to, you know, play because 8:30 they be in the bed. Yeah, we don't
Well,
play.
yeah, it's a little bit after 9, so they got a bonus. But again, I love you
Yeah.
for it. I appreciate you being here. You know me and you will talk soon. Good night,
All right.
baby.
Love ya.
Love
Bye.
you.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, if you've been through the whole live, we appreciate your time. I really want to also cannot go out of this live without talking about what's coming up for Miss Full Figure USA. As you know, our 2019 queens have been waiting in the wings since 2019. The 2020 date passed in April, then the 2020 date passed in July, all because of controlment, something we can't control, this pandemic that's happening alone in this world. And as you know, from if you're following Miss Full Figure DMV director Lorrine, you are aware that it has came upon my family as of now, unfortunately, and we're still persevering and going through. But let's talk about the glory that's to come, the days to come. Miss Full Figure USA 2019. Excuse me, Queens, the brand from all of the states will be competing in May. Yes, the weekend of May 22nd. So tune in to the Miss Full Figure USA IG page, the Miss Full Figure USA pageant Facebook page for dates and time for that particular pageant. And then when we steamboating, now we are starting the pageants that were postponed from 2020 to 2021, with the exception of Miss Full Figure DMV and Miss Full Figure Georgia. Our 2020 queens are ready and preparing for their big day that will happen in the fall of 2021 national pageant. Of course, you stay tuned to our page, Miss Full Figure DMV, for all the updates on those pageants as well, along with Miss Full Figure USA. And I'll tell you this, honey, we are ready to slay. My 2019 queens been prepared since February of 2020, honey. They are ready to show on and show out. And I'm sure that's the same story for all the queens that are competing for 2019. Our 2020 queens, they are preparing right now in this world, honey. They're not slowing down. The boat is moving fast, honey. They are ready and preparing themselves to take the stage in for 4-hour Miss Full Figure National Pageant for the 2020-2021 Queens. With that being said, there are a few pageants that are going to be happening quite soon. Right now, excuse me, right now we are preparing for the first pageant of the season to start happening, and that is going to be Georgia. Georgia is happening, honey, Saturday, February 20th, 2021. It's happening in Birmingham, Alabama, honey, under the direction of Latoya Francois, honey. She is ready. As you can see the flyer, their ticket sales are on sale now. Go to the Miss Full Figure Alabama Facebook page, and you will be able to get more information and links to their ticket sales. And as we move along, if I'm not mistaken, right after that, we are moving into our next pageant. Excuse me. Let's see. Nope. Sorry, Jersey. Jersey is coming up. Miss Full Figure USA Jersey is coming up on Saturday, March 6th. Look at that information there, and then you can also find that information on the Miss Full Figure USA Jersey IG page for more information on that as well. The director there is no other than the Sadiqa Holmes Binders. I'm always Barnes. I'm sorry. I always say her whole name incorrect because to me, she's Princess Z, my sister from the 2016 pageant for Miss Full Figure USA, who is now the director. But her girls are ready as well, honey, to take the stage and do what they do on their pageant day, which is again March 6th. Follow them. Tickets are also on sale with their link and also through their delegates. And then we round it out for the first part of the season. We are going to Michigan. Yes, April 3rd. That is happening in Michigan under the direction of Marie Justice, who's actually our Miss Full Figure USA Ultimate Beauty Queen. Whoa, from 2019. Beautiful woman. She is going to hit the stage with our Michigan division. For more information on their ticket sales, also visit their Facebook page as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Other than the fact that you know that currently right now, Miss Full Figure DMV have our registration open. Yes, our registration is open for our 2021 season. Visit our website to register today. When you go on our website, you'll also be able to look into a past queens and past delegate system. If you're a woman from the size of 12 and up, ages 18 to 60, and you live in the DC, Maryland, and Northern Virginia area, we are looking for you, sister. Take a chance on yourself and try something new. Everybody have a wonderful evening. And I'm going to end this with saying, my season words are faith, hope, and love. Believe in that, and things will always come in on top. Have a good evening, and thank you for joining us.